What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, what can I say? Glover Teixiera, 42 years young. I am so happy of all of the outcomes last night. I'm ecstatic for Glover, and I am a huge Jan Blachowicz fan, so that speaks to just how much I love Glover Teixiera. He is a grinder. He is a worker. He's a guy who should be inspiring all of the less professional guys that are half his age that are currently on the UFC's roster. That guy shows up, he makes weight, he doesn't pull out of fights, he fights whoever is put in front of him, and guess what? At 42 years young, he's the UFC undisputed champion.
That's right. Congratulations to Glover. His performance last night kind of reminds me of one of your favorite quotes from Johnny Drama from Entourage.
Yes.
Nothing outweighs experience. And, man, he's got plenty of experience. He has seen it all in the octagon. He's seen it all throughout his career, and he's done some pretty amazing things. But his career for sure would have felt unfinished or uncompleted if he didn't touch that UFC gold. He felt, when I saw him walk out, it felt like he was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was not getting denied that UFC gold. One man stood in front of him, and after he'd beaten everybody in his way at 40-some years old, now he's 42, he's getting his last shot. He knew it was his last shot, and he seized the moment. That's history. We witnessed history. We witnessed something so cool, and you can just see him. He was like talking to Dana, telling stories of old, like, man, I had visa troubles and I was going to be in the Ultimate Fighter 20 years ago. And now I'm finally here. I made it. I made exactly what I wanted to have happen come true in my life, and I feel so happy for him. And leading into that fight, I was kind of thinking, if Glover wins this fight, obviously it's going to be very difficult for him, and he's probably going to take every ounce of energy that he possibly has left in his body to get a win over Jan Blachowicz. But if he gets that belt, he should probably ride off into the sunset. After that fight, I don't think he needs to do that. I think at 42 years old or 42 years young, he might as well run with this belt, because who knows what he can do. I don't think that the Glover Teixiera that fought last night needs to retire.
No, and listen, the likely next opponent, because he said I'm here to stay. I'm going to defend this belt. So the likely next opponent is who you have to look to, and that's Jiří Procházka.
Dun, dun, dun.
Jiří Procházka is a monster striker.
Ridiculous.
But Jiří Procházka definitely has holes in his game with regards to the grappling.
Yeah.
And Glover Teixiera took down Jan Blachowicz at will last night. And Jan Blachowicz is the guy that dominated Adesanya on the ground. Now, Adesanya is not, his specialty is not on the ground, and his weight division is not 205. I get that. But for somebody that can take down a guy as big and powerful as Jan Blachowicz, who is a jiu-jitsu black belt, by the way, and advance position on him and ultimately put him flat down on his belly with a rear naked choke, sat in, that is about the most dominant position you can get into in MMA. You have your opponent completely flattened out, your hook's in, and you're hitting him with a rear naked choke.
Right.
That's as dominant a finish as you can get. So that leaves me no reason to believe that he couldn't put Procházka in that same position. He's just got to be very careful with the unorthodox striking. But one thing we know about unorthodox striking is when you're doing all of the spinning elbows and stuff like that, a really good takedown artist like Glover can seize those opportunities if they don't get caught.
Yeah, and doing that type of striking that Jiří does can compromise your balance and your footwork and your placement and everything like that in the octagon. And all it takes is an experienced guy like Glover Teixiera to see some sort of opening and then close it, and now you've got trouble on your hands, because if he gets on top of you, his MMA grappling, his MMA jiu-jitsu submissions is some of the best. And, like we saw last night on a ton of the fights, there's really good grappling coming out of Russia and out of these guys, these up-and-comers. But don't forget about the 42-year-old Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, because he kind of paved the way. He wrote the blueprint on how to do MMA grappling. Glover's got some of the best MMA grappling that the world's ever seen. I think Jiří Procházka gets hit too, and Glover's got some crazy power. The last thing to go is your power. Everybody says that. It's from the Rocky movie, and it is pretty true that he's not going to move near as fast as Jiří, but when he does connect, it's going to hurt Jiří. And if Jiří gets caught out of place, we could see him potentially get taken down. And then I do think that his chances go way up when this fight gets to the ground. Yuri's probably not able to stop the takedown and the submission if Jan Blachowicz wasn't able to. Speed and athleticism is what I would worry about most, but Glover Teixiera is a living legend. I would love to see him defend this title, and if he does beat Jiří, he's kind of in that same boat where, people talk about George St. Pierre all the time, where the reason he's the best is because he beat the people of his time, the people before his time, and then the people that came after him. And even all the way into the Michael Bisping thing. And Michael Bisping's a legend, but he was the champion at that point, right? So Glover Teixeira's kind of done that too. He fought everybody, all the old people.
Yeah.
Now he fought the current guy in Jan Blachowicz. And if he beats Jiří, who is definitely the future of the division, he's kind of covered all three of those, past, future, and present. So I would love to see that happen. I think he's already got a legendary career, but now he's got a Hall of Fame career, in my opinion.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame for sure. I mean, he went on a 20-fight win streak before he ran into John Jones. Said he lost a little bit of motivation because that wasn't a very close fight with John. Regrouped, recalibrated, changed some things up about how he's training, and now he is looking as good as ever, and I just could not be happier for him. The flip side of last night is that we had to watch Jan Blachowicz get submitted, which I hated to see. But I loved both of these guys going in, so I knew I was going to be happy and have my heart broken simultaneously, regardless of how this fight went. But I do believe Jan can become the champion again.
Me too.
Glover, he's like Fedor, man. He's just like getting better with age. He's looking better and he's fighting better in his 40s than he did in his 30s. So, but that won't last forever. We understand that. And so it's eventually Glover will either retire or he will lose the belt. And I think that will open a window for Blachowicz to get back to the title. I still think he's the next best guy. Him and Jiří are neck and neck, in my opinion. And then I think there's a decent margin between the next person. So light heavyweight is fun, and there's three guys that are very evenly skilled. And I think the belt might change hands a bit here, but who cares? The night belongs to Glover Teixeira. Even if he loses in his first outing defending the title, him getting this just made my night, and I could not be happier for the Brazilian.
Yeah, me either. It's so crazy how different all of them are in as far as their where they are in their career. Glover is clearly at the very, very tail end. He's on the 18th hole of his career. Jiří is just now picking up some steam, and people are loving to watch him fight, but we have to see some more out of him. And Jan, while he's 38, he still is young as a UFC champ and as a UFC fighter. So I think that we're going to see these guys kind of bounce back and forth between each other for the next few months, few years. But Glover Teixeira deserves a nice parade in Brazil, in Connecticut. I know he lives here now in America, but we need to see him enjoy this, relish in the moment of being the UFC champion. He said May or so is when he wants to fight next. I think that'll give us plenty of time to watch the dust settle. Maybe we'll see Jiří fight and get another win in that time, and then we'll see a great first title defense for Glover Teixeira, because there's still a lot of fight left in that old dog.
That's for sure. Yeah. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comments, what did you think about the spectacular underdog victory of Glover Teixeira to become UFC champion at 42 years young? We always love chatting with you guys in the comments. And if you haven't checked out the audio version yet, check out the Barnhill Brothers wherever you listen to podcasts. See you in the next one. Have a great day.
Peace.